And I thought about getting a job at Porsche because it's right here. It would have been a quick drive. And this is a brand new dealership. Hang on. Let me clarify. Clean my damn camera so y'all can see it. This is a brand new dealership that they're building over here. But there's a few reasons why I wouldn't, and one of them was because of this. Like, I think it would be weird to pull up to work at Porsche in a Z06. But also, I guess I could ride a bike. But then the people are like, why are you riding a bike and you work at Porsche? But it would be a Porsche bike. But besides that, I wouldn't want to work 7 days a week, shave my beard, or have to sell shitty cars. Shitty cars that nobody actually really wants to buy. Yeah, that's what it is.
Do you want me to do it?
Been a minute since we got a gas station pick, or a gas station shot, angle, shoot. I saw this the other day at Buc-ee's. My bad. The correct name is Badass.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Actually, I saw that at Buc-ee's. I saw this on Instagram at another Buc-ee's, which I don't know which Buc-ee's that was, but that would be a pretty wild scene to be a part of. I don't know if I'd be accepted because I don't think I saw a single C8 in the crowd. They were all supercars or hypercars or better, and I don't know if they would accept me. But what I saw at that Buc-ee's was in Auburn, Alabama, and on that R8 they had their Instagram and TikTok name on their window. And I don't know, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about putting your Instagram or your TikTok name on your car? I will say that I did take the long way today. I took Scenic 98, and the C8 Z06, or at least mine, from what I could tell, put a lot of smiles on a lot of people's faces, pointing, and even instances of some folks pulling out a camera and snapping photos. Do you think that they would want to know my Instagram? You think that they would want to know my TikTok? You think they would want to know my YouTube channel? We scheduled our oil change, certified service. There was even a follow-up just to double check and make sure they had the special oil in stock, and they said they did. And so we're gonna knock this out. I'm gonna wait for it. We're gonna see how long it takes. It won't be today, but we are on the schedule to get back to 100% on oil life, and then all hell breaks loose. And speaking of all hell breaking loose, look at this, $86,000. Who's gonna pay almost $100,000 for a freaking Nissan that's trying to be a damn Yukon? This shit is wild. This is crazy. But I don't think anybody's buying them. I think everybody wants Pathfinders and roads. At least that's what the salesperson told me. But, you know, to each their own. And since the economy is getting better, odds are Nissan Altima sales will decline. I'm just messing with you guys. But, hey, look. I'm parked next to an EV with some serious scratches on it, which really sucks. There's no way I'd have a black vehicle that I cared for without PPF on it. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but they made a lot of progress on this bridge. And I swear we just crossed this bridge last night, and my wife was saying, she was talking about the angle of these, I don't know if they're like trusses or what you would call it for a bridge, but when she said that, I don't think they had this much done last night. So they must have done all of this morning. Coming a long way. That bridge is going to be pretty high compared to this one. It's 8:40, 1, 2, depending on which clock I'm looking at. They got me in here. I'm sitting here chilling, waiting, gonna get some work done while I'm at it. But then also, look at this spec on this Z06 switch. My wife, she's like, you can't get red seats. And I'm glad I got my black seats in my spec, but you can't deny that this is definitely a good looking car. And we're looking at a 25 3LZ convertible, 145 830. But then we got the Seawolf Gray. Beautiful Seawolf Gray. Well, how are you? Have y'all got any ZR1s?
No.
You think you will, or?
There's a possibility of one, and the waiting. Oh yeah, we have two of these. I mean, that's the coupe, that's the convertible, the white one. The white one's a 3LZ. This one's a 2LZ. But it's a hard-loaded one. I mean, it doesn't have anything. It's not missing anything.
I love the Seawolf Gray.
Yes, yeah, it's very good color.
And we're done. A few $100s later, we've got an oil change. We got the car back, and I appreciate the way that they parked it. Dipping one wheel off into the hatch area just for the maximum amount of space possible between the C8 Z06 and the Z51 Silverado here. We'll just do a quick inspection, walk around. Not that I think that there would be any reason to curb a wheel and an oil change, but better safe than sorry, right? Before I leave, and get a quick peek back here. Doesn't look like they dropped a drip of oil in getting this work done. And apparently there's only one C8 tech here at this dealership, but he's a pro is what I was told. He's a pro is what I was told. Looks green right there. Is that soap or is that coolant? I don't know what that is. I don't even know if they use green coolant anymore. I had to check that. But here we are, folks. We got an oil change. We got 8.8 quarts of oil, it looks like. A filter kit. No, that's description. Quantity 8. So 8 quarts of oil, I'm assuming. I don't even know off the top of my head. I'll have to look that up. And multi-point safety inspection. Inspect suspension, steering, exterior bulbs, brakes, cooling system, belts, hoses, drivetrain, tires, and fluid condition. Top off if necessary. Inspection completed. He said that there are no issues. I got an environmental fee I have to pay. And all in all, $235.75 for an oil change. Definitely cheaper than Porsche. What Porsche would charge for oil changes was much, much higher than that. But I do think that Porsche oil changes might have last longer. However, with my Macan GTS, I know I had to at least every oil change add a quart. It did burn oil. The last I checked, this car, from the time I had it until now, didn't burn any oil, which is good considering the architecture design of this engine, this high revving performance V8. But yeah, I need to check and see what's the total quantity of oil needed and how long the oil change lasts, and compare that per mile basically, or per quart, or however you want to do it, to Porsche. Odds are GM is going to come in far more cost effective than Porsche. And it's not a cold start, but it's definitely a remote start. And speaking of Porsche, how many 911 guys would love to have an opportunity to remote start their car from a distance? I know that's one of the main reasons, one of the considerations that kept me away from it. Man, she needs a bath. The wheels are looking a little dirty. Got that brake dust on there, boy. But no matter what, this car, take down my number here, is my favorite. I love this car. And there's something that I rarely ever hear, if ever, from 911 owners. And the question is, well, why'd you buy the car? Odds are they'll never say it's because they love it. They'll probably give you some rationale and reasoning behind appreciation and resale value.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Calm down, Rihanna. They'll give you some excuse about, or some justification of appreciation and resale value. And I'd be willing to bet real car people, more than likely C8 owners, and I would say definitely Z06 owners, will tell you it's because they absolutely fucking love this car. Some of them probably even having sold 911s, sold Huracans and McLaren 720s, bought a C8 Z06 and never once looked back, never once regretted their choice and decision. I didn't sell a 911, but I damn sure didn't buy one either. And for the prices that they're charging, the premiums for cars that, in my opinion, don't even turn heads unless you have a giant wing on the back, hard pass. And let's get a quick cycle through here. Oh, look, 100%. Got the reset, got 100% on engine oil, 87% on transmission fluid, 74% on transmission filter. I'm going to do my transmission canister service at 17,000 because this is not the original transmission for the car, and this transmission was swapped out around 9,500 miles, and so to stick with the 7,500 mile first canister fill fluid drain service, whatever it is, for warranty purposes, I'm going to call it 17,000. So I've already spoke to them here. They said they just need a couple days heads up notice, and I'm going to get that service done at 17,000, and then I'm going to I'll give you guys an update then. All right, this could be a placebo effect, but the car does feel better. It feels better with fresh oil. And yeah, I opted to just take the roof off It is probably 116,000 degrees right now, but I said, F it. Air conditioner on full blast, seat cooler on blast, and we're gonna ride with the top. We're gonna ride with the top down, guys. Enjoy this C8 life. Passenger princess. That's what she says when she's not driving. She says she need a ponytail. Fix your hair for no reason.
That's fine. No, actually, I'm glad I did it the way I did because it's keeping it out of my eyes. I mean, a bun would have done the best, but this is helping a lot.
Times I was in a conversation with her.
And she just
Service,
interrupts.
hey, I need this, or hey, she needs that. And I'm like, okay, I guess what you're doing is more important than what I was talking about. You're looking, you're 90, and I'm polite to my elders. Or I might call you down, lady. Like, look, bitch, I'm talking over here. What the hell? I was still like 3 times. I'm like, man. And then she was nice and polite. Well, thank you. I'm sorry to be a pain in the ass or whatever. But it's like, come on. Your mom teach you some manners.
Like, you've had servants without when you were little, also when you had servants when you were little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She seemed like that.
Yeah.
Whatever she needed was way more important than anybody else. And never mind, I said, did she leave tips for 3 different servers? I asked Brandon, I was like, y'all, I said, Taylor helped him, Robert helped her, Brandon helped her, and so they were recording.
And just like that, Florida's weather decides to just say F you. Good thing I drive a C8 Z06. It's capable of driving in the rain. It's so moist. You gonna make a run for it or you wanna wait?
Well, we need to go.
True.
So.
It's louder in the rain. Here.
The lightning's louder. I got it. I'm not gonna let anything hit your car, don't worry.
I got PPF, I don't even care.
That's not how it works. Is it unlocked though? Because I don't want to get out there and just be, you know. The downside is you can't just easily jump into the car.
You can fall in.
No, I'm gonna have to.
Just fall in.
You have fun with that steering wheel because I moved your seat forward.
Oh, great.
I forgot to move it back.
This will be great.
Does it not move back on its own?
Nah.
Sucks to be you. Alright, I'm ready. Oh, I smell the exhaust right here. You ready?
Stings the nostrils. Two things. First, number one, Teddy's cool as shit, and he gave us some coffee from Moss, but it's just really good coffee. Michelle and I were going to start figuring out our coffee game, and we're pretty much moving away from the Keurig. Okay, so there's that. Two, I've been working on finishing this video for days, and I'm trying to wrap this up. The garage is extremely hot. But I got room, I got space in here to finish this video. So I'm gonna try to share with you guys a little bit more that I wanted to talk about. We actually spent a lot of time at Moss Coffee yesterday talking about YouTube. And if any of you enjoy this video or saw my other video where I said that YouTube paid for my C8 Z06, yeah, I can tell you more about that if you like. Probably the most common questions, FAQs, that I answer are, what do you need to get started? And I've got a super cheap tripod, selfie stick that I use. I sit it on my garbage can. And I'm using my Hollyland microphone that I got off Amazon, and my Samsung S23 Ultra. That's pretty much it. I edit using my MacBook Pro, and if I can open it, Final Cut Pro. But really and truly, if you just got a phone, that's all you need. You don't need a tripod. You don't need a wireless microphone. You just need a phone. You need to press record, and you need to tell a story, share an event, talk to people, show them something. And then that's pretty much it. So anyway, side note there, if you guys want, I'll give you a link to my school community in the description, but I'm really just here to talk about cars. But I have a passion for cars. I have a passion for YouTube. I put two together. I make money off of it. That's cool. If you guys want to do the same or at least talk about it, then I'll talk to you about it. All right. So this is actually evolving into a 3-month review. I got this car sometime in April. I'm pretty sure it was sometime in April, and I'd be willing to bet that there might be some paperwork in here that would actually tell me exactly. My wife's sunglasses are in here. She's gonna be looking for those. And yeah, we got some paperwork in here from Carlock Automotive. And this paperwork is dated April 23rd, 2025. So, a little over 3 months that we've been together. We've been in a serious relationship together. And honestly, it's not like day one, because it's not day one anymore, but it may be actually better than day one. How many of you folks are super excited when you get your car or your dream car, or whatever it was you wanted, and then it kind of like the newness wears off, subsides a little bit? Not the case with this. It's like more enjoyable every time I take that out or come in here and I look at it. And I will say, it's like, I think it's more enjoyable the more comfortable I get with it, the more I learn about it. And I remember the first day driving it back, I'm worried like the car is crazy wide and where are the blind spots and all these other things, and am I gonna go too fast? And now it's like, this car likes to cruise at like 50. It likes to cruise at 50 in tour. I don't know about sport. Sport's probably like 55, 60 maybe. It doesn't like to cruise in speeding territory. It's not really that wide when you think about it. And it's actually really, really short. And when I back it into parking spaces, I'm like, yo, I left so much room in the front. And the blind spots, really, there's only one blind spot. And it's right here. This is it right here. That's the only blind spot that I have. The mirrors are great. The rear view camera is great. This is a 3LZ, which you can get it in a 2LZ. The front camera, all the cameras are great. But if for some reason you're pulling out and then you need to look through the rear quarter, B-pillar, for instance, you're not going to be able to. But if you try to keep yourself out of that situation, it's really like I have to purposely try to find a time where that's an issue. So I just wanted to share that. Got an oil change the other day, went off without a hitch. They quoted me 2 hours. It took like an hour. And I'm actually so far pleased that I spent the time and paid the money versus spending thousands on quick jacks and doing it myself and laying on the ground, spending more time, possibly fucking some shit up, and then having to dispose of the used oil. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So we did that. Speaking of, go backwards here. YouTube paying for this. I came across a video of another car influencer, and he says he so far has made negative $50 as a car influencer. And so if that were the case, I think I would be tremendously in the red right now for what this car cost, how much I spent on PPF, buying different things for pressure washer, car wash detail solution, all that said, in comparison to what it has made me so far from this channel, which happens to be monetized, not even freaking close. And so the young man who I was watching, he was talking about having an S2000, which as he was doing a POV drive, I remembered just how much fun an S2000 was, as I've had 2 of them. But it's not a route that I would go down specifically, strategically, to create an income stream by making YouTube videos. And to be only negative $50 as a car influencer, that's not bad. I would imagine it could get a whole lot deeper. And I would imagine Eddie X is probably, I bet you Eddie X probably knows a lot about that, but now Eddie X is probably doing really, really well. But if not, it's like, we don't buy these for that reason. We don't make these videos for that reason. We buy them because we love them. We make the videos because we want to cherish them. We want to share this with other people. And if you can make money and profit and revenue off of that in the process, great. But if that's your sole purpose and goal, for instance, to maybe even pay for the car, well, I'm not going to say it can't be done, but you're definitely going to need to have a strategy and a lot of patience, a lot. Speaking of patience, I came across a video of a young man wrapping a C8 Z06 in Vancouver, Washington. And small business, great video, and probably the simplest and easiest way to market your business, let alone from the rolling advertisement on the side of the C8 Z06, but the video that he created, which was a great video. I just think it was a great video. So big shout out to, I'll put him on the screen. I don't remember the name, but the vinyl wrap shop in Vancouver, Washington. Keep up the great work.
So this is very obviously an oak tree, but that is an oak green Porsche Macan Turbo Electric, and today we are going to review it. Now the question you know that I'm going to ask myself is this worth twice the amount of a Tesla Model Y? This is spec to $130,000, and that paint that we talked about earlier is a $2,490 option. But the person shopping for this isn't necessarily looking for a deal. They bought a Porsche. And to those of us who can't afford them, we call them Porsches. So that's what I'll refer to it as.
I like Jeeves because, Jeeves is Jeeves, you know? And, in comparison to the price for custom colors from Tesla, I guess it's not really that expensive when you think how much Tesla charges to get colors besides black or gray, I think. And according to some in the comments, apparently I can't afford a Porsche, which is why I bought a C8 Z06. So I guess I too will just call it Porsche.
So, oak green metallic, it's a Macan Turbo, and what I love that they've done here.
What I don't love that they've done is they call it a turbo. They called the battery powered Porsche Macan a turbo.
is with this new badging on the Turbo and Turbo S models here, they've actually changed how it looks, kind of like a smoked finish as opposed to the traditional look here. Now, seeing this in person and seeing the proportions of it, does have the staggered wheel setup, so that is a cool look to it. I think the gas Macan is one of the most beautiful SUVs on the market, and I was a little worried about this portion right here. That just, something doesn't quite look right, but in person, it's not bad.
How does that make you feel when spending a premium on a Porsche, and you have to describe it as it's not that bad?
Also has a rear windscreen wiper here, and it has storage in the front. So we'll open up the trunk here. Okay. And we have a nice amount of storage in the back. Now, it does have an air suspension. It's funny enough, you can actually see the tank for it right here, which is kind of unfinished. Normally, they have everything tucked away nicely.
Janky. The word you're looking for here is janky.
Big fat wheels, big fat tires in the back. Let's take a look at storage in here. Brought to you by Burmester. So not a lot of storage in this thing. Let me show you the frunk real quick and show you how that opens up. This denotes electricity is inside the car. 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, EPA rated for 288 miles of range. But if you've been paying attention to anything that Porsche does, they always underrate their vehicles. So the owner of this told me he got about 340 miles out of the vehicle, whereas Tesla, you're always kind of chasing that. I would say 288 is realistic in a Tesla Model Y, but this with the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, the Model Y has about 79 usable. So this is a much bigger pack that's in this. That's why it's able to over deliver on range.
You know, Porsche under delivers on performance or power or range, but they definitely over promise or over deliver on price.
I don't know why these manufacturers can't all just figure out and do the same testing, but that's, you know, that's far above my paid grade.
Maybe they will one day, kind of like, you know, standardized horsepower and torque numbers.
Because I don't even own a Porsche. But I did. I owned a used one. I loved it. So here's the front storage space.
I did too. I owned a used Porsche and I loved it.
I think they did a nice job here. This is the charging cable that comes with the car to give you a little bit of perspective of how big this is. This is about 2 feet of cross and about 1.5 feet deep. It's not bad. I'm just happy that it has some sort of storage here. Here's my thing. When you're driving an electric vehicle, it's got to be good because you're giving up a little bit of convenience. You can't just run to a gas station, get your cigarettes, get your beer, and then fill up in 3 minutes. You have to charge somewhere. Do the chargers work? Blah, blah, blah. There's all these things. There's all this minutia. Still trying to figure out how to open up the charge ports on this thing. But there's all these things. And what the Tesla Model Y does so well is it gives you all of these other additional features that make traveling easier, autopilot, full self-driving. This does have an augmented reality that I'll show you in a minute here.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of trippy. I didn't really love it. And there's like 19 minutes of this review left, and I'm not going to go through it with you guys, but I did want to talk to you a little bit more about what I had said earlier about working at Porsche. And Porsche's in big trouble. It's not just my opinion. I mean, I think this is a fact. The CEO himself has made statements on record that their business model doesn't work anymore. What business model would that be? I don't know. Continuously raising prices, continuously eliminating the vehicles that people really want, and continuously making it harder and harder and harder to buy a 911. In any way you want to look at it. Any way you want to look at it. I used to drive a Porsche. And I bought a C8 Z06 instead of stepping up to a 911 or even trying to save a little money and getting a 718 GTS 4-liter or maybe even a GT4. RS was not in the picture. And honestly, I wanted to work at Porsche. It was right around the corner from the house. I kind of still would do it now just to kind of be in the element and around car people. And it would be for fun, but also for an opportunity to get, content and maybe a discount. I think that maybe I would still buy a Porsche at some point, but the direction that they're going now with EVs, it's really hard pressed to say I would buy a new one. But ultimately, as a salesperson working at Porsche or relying on sales to pay your bills, I would be a little bit concerned. I don't think they have anything good to sell. I don't think they have anything great to sell. And the Macan EV, I don't think is it. In my market, probably a Cayenne is probably going to sell the best. Panameras are like, for that kind of money, is that what you really want to buy? And then Taycans are junk. The Macan EV is probably going to fall into the same category as junk once enough people get their hands on them and depreciation starts to set in. The 718s are cool, but they're extremely not practical. But who am I to speak? I drive a very impractical vehicle. And then the 911s, like, they've kind of lost their edge. They kind of lost why anyone would really want a 911. And buying a 992 generation 1.2 doesn't matter base. I don't think appreciation should be a word in your vocabulary. Just saying. And if you have a new 911 and appreciation could occur, well, how much did you pay for that by way of additional dealer markup for your allocation? Yeah. And can you drive it? Odds are you probably won't because you're afraid to put miles on it. But working at Porsche would actually be terrible. And I think working at any dealership would be terrible because you'd have to devote your life to it. And Porsche, granted, you get a day off because they're not open on Sunday, I don't think. But still, it's like, man, I would probably want to work somewhere that's actually selling cars. Tesla? Like, who's really selling cars? Tesla? Range Rover? I think Range Rover's selling a lot of cars. Ford, maybe, for trucks, maybe. I'm really not sure. According to every video, title, and thumbnail I see on the internet, let it rot. So I don't freaking know. It's crazy. And then Porsche's sales and profit is dropping. And I made a video like 2 years ago on a different channel talking about this article that I read, or maybe it was on this channel. It was on this channel because I said, great news for Porsche, bad news for poor people, bad news for broke people. And I think it was that video where Porsche was talking about the road to 20. But I think Porsche was still on this high of supply chain disruptions and shortages and FOMO. So as of March 15, 2023, we can see here that Porsche reportedly plans to initiate steep price increases in 2023 and beyond. According to MotorAuthority.com, Porsche is set to significantly increase prices starting in the middle of the year to keep its margins up in light of some major headwinds. Lutz Minsk, Porsche's head of finance and IT, said in an earnings call on Monday, Autocar has reported. The price increases will also extend to planned electric versions of the Macan, 718, Cayenne, coming in the years ahead. Miski said the new electric versions will cost around 10 to 15% more than the comparable gas-powered versions that will remain on sale for a period. According to Miski, the electric Macan will arrive in the first half of 2024. The electric 718 will follow around 2025, and the electric Cayenne likely the year after that. Around 2027, Porsche will introduce a new flagship SUV with third-row seats, though this model will exclusively offer electric power. Porsche has room to increase prices as demand for its vehicles remains high and its typical customer is in a financially strong position. Meski said on Monday during Porsche's annual general meeting. As you can see here, standing in front of a beautiful, what looks to be possibly Miami Blue 992 GT3. Now, the automaker has just come off of a strong 2022 that saw sales and operating profit record record levels. The crucial number for Porsche is its operating profit, which grew from 16% in 2021 to 18% in 2022. Porsche wants to maintain its operating profit between 17 and 19% for 2023, and in the longer term, increase it to more than 20% in a strategy announced on Monday called Road to 20. The price increases will help reach these targets while offsetting costs due to the heavy investment in EV technology, as well as key headwinds that Meski described as a tight supply chain, rising geopolitical tensions, and ongoing inflationary pressures. With, and I quote, "The road to 20, we are making Porsche even more resilient and our brand stronger than ever." And Meski said, "And we are going to take a fresh look at everything from our product range and pricing to our cost structure." Well, there you have it, folks. And here we are, fast forward to 2025, and the market's changed. Interest rates have changed. The economy has changed. And the road to 20, 20% profit margin for Porsche, Porsche, whatever their arm is that is publicly traded. 20% profit margin shouldn't even be in your vocabulary. And you can see here in the comment section on this video, I think it's this video, on Jeeves' video, the GTS is 100K overpriced. Now, this is a different video. Actually, this is a different video. And this was a guy walking one of the Porsche dealerships. And Porsche dealerships are completely full, okay? And the GTS was like $245,000 used, which Porsche plays these games and they sell these cars. They put 100 miles on them and then they bring them back and then they sell them as certified pre-owned and they jack the prices up to increase their profit margin. It's a racket, okay? That's why you're not getting your allocation, okay? So it says a base 911 costs over 200K is absolutely insane. And Porsches are good, but not 200K good. I'd pass. The battery Taycans are tanking as used cars and no one wants them. Isn't it strange how every vehicle manufacturer did this and continues to do this? And do they come with fake engine sounds and real smelling exhaust like an easy bake oven too? $170,000 for a Porsche EV, bruh, that's all badge. And yeah, they just fired 1,900 employees. Porsche is in real trouble right now. But all these manufacturers have their issues. They really do. Everybody should be feeling some form of pain right now in their business, regardless of what industry you're in. But that's just a part of doing business. And now we figure out how we're going to solve these problems and improve, or at least, survive, until the dust settles and then come out the other side better than we ever were before. But I don't think that coming out better than we were before is a future of the damn pool guy's banging on something over here. Higher priced, shitty cars that nobody wants, that are battery powered and don't have any engine sound, that cost a shitload of money, and the cool ones you want, you can't even get. I don't, especially considering that here in the United States, the EV mandate has been eliminated. But Porsche, they got a little bit different rules to play by with the EU. And I think China was one of their biggest markets. And China just basically said, piss on Porsche, BYD and Xiaomi and whoever else for the win. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Porsche is absolutely freaking cooked. Ironically, the vehicles that Porsche had that really saved them years ago are the same vehicles Porsche is turning their back on. Crazy to think. But what happens next is going to be freaking unreal, insane. And yeah, that could have an impact on existing Porsche owners' vehicles having a huge spike in value as they become the Studebaker of our generation. But I would hope that Porsche actually figures this out, turns things around, and brings enthusiasts back. Hell, brings me back. I was going to say, this isn't the first time it happened to me, but who does this?
Just parked right in front of you.
But it's still running, so I feel like maybe somebody's in it.
I say maybe they're in it, or maybe they ran in to grab it to go order or something, or maybe they'll get the fuck out.
And somebody parked here, which I didn't think that was a parking spot.
It's a handicap spot.
No, it's a ramp.
No, it's a handicap.
No, there's a ramp. That's a hatched area. So when you come down off of here, you can go down the ramp.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So if you come down here, where are you gonna go?
Well, I got the douche then.
Or in the front. You want the front? So dainty.
I don't want to do it. I was trying to keep my fingerprints off.
My wife and I we were actually kicking around the idea of taking a road trip and how we would pack and actually make it work. But then I told her, I said, you know what? I don't even know if that'd be possible because, all your makeup would melt. All your makeup would melt if you put it in the front. So she'd have to put the makeup inside the car. She had to put the makeup inside the car. Yeah. And then our fuel costs. I guess on the highway, it wouldn't be so bad, but city streets, light to light, me with a heavy foot in sport or track, which I really like sport mode. That's what I kind of spend my life in sport. Yeah. Yeah. Fuel cost alone on this make it very challenging to have a profitable YouTube channel.